one. It was embarrassing because I was shaking and I was super nervous, and I'm super nervous again. So here we go. My name is Joella. I go by Jo. And 4 years ago, by the way, I moved to Calgary. So I actually miss all of you because our tech community there is still growing. It's not there yet. But it's really great to be back. So I'm going to focus on sharing with you guys how I'm building a clinician-led tech startup. And my team does not like me doing this, but I'm going to put them on the spot because two of them are here. So my engineer, Beta, is over there in the green. She's not going to put her hand up, but she's waving. And then Isha is sitting right next to her. Both of them are pharmacists, so they're going to learn a lot of new things today. I forgot I had notes. Okay, awesome. So our mission is to solve the hardest problems in healthcare, which sounds really daunting, but it's totally possible when you see the next slide. We do this by enabling the widest, most popular healthcare site that all of you visit way more than you do a hospital or a clinic, which is the humble community pharmacy. And basically, we're turning every single one of those pharmacies into clinics overnight. And I'm here really to share with you guys why technology built by healthcare workers for healthcare workers can fundamentally change the way care is delivered. And Michael, forgive me, but you are an accountant building for accountants, so that's probably why you've had some success. So I think we have a same theme over here. Now, MedEssist isn't a niche tool. It's infrastructure for modern pharmacies that combines clinical intelligence with operational efficiency. Yuck, that's very buzzwordy, right? Come on, you guys, that was really buzzwordy. Nobody laughed at that. I thought that was funny. Okay, the truth is, healthcare workers just want someone else to go build something better. They don't care about the boring technology. They've been forced to use boring technology their entire life. What we do is we give them the opportunity to build a healthcare system that they want to work in. And 75% of my team are real healthcare workers. I have physicians, pharmacists, nurses, building a tech startup. Not being consultants, building a tech startup. A system where, from coast to coast, the only thing that determines if a patient can get healthcare is if it's clinically appropriate. No politics, no regulatory barriers, no federal or provincial laws. Literally, is it clinically appropriate? If yes, let's go ahead. A healthcare system where you can get healthcare on every single block around the world, whether you speak English or not, whether the provider behind that counter can figure it out or not. That's we don't care about any of that. We just care, are they trained to do this? Can they do it? Yes, awesome, let's go ahead. So we don't talk about how annoying your current software is. We talk to each employee about what can they do about it. So, like I said, our secret ingredient is that our clinicians are our engineers. Thank you for that. Their experience drives product market fit. They do everything. They don't just give advice. They do cold calls. They code. Beta is a pharmacist and a programmer. She's right there. You can ask her. They do technical support. Can you imagine your physician picking up the phone and doing tech support? That's wild. But they do that at MedEssist. They do retentions if needed. They close customers. They talk to enterprise VPs and directors. And they're real PharmDs. They're actual PharmDs and physicians and nurses doing this. So we hire pharmacists and we put them in customer success roles, and then they learn to have difficult conversations with people about tech. And 90% of the time, you're right. It's probably like, okay, have you started that? Have you turned that on and off? So, that's what we do here. Now, the truth is, when your developers have worn scrubs, which is not a thing, you guys should know this because pharmacists don't wear scrubs. But instead of product telling engineers what to do, the engineers are product engineers. And they maximize their ownership and influence in what they're building, because I don't really need them to build software, guys. Come on, AI is here. All of us can build software. What we really need is we need them to solve problems that only they can solve based on their real-world experience behind the counter. So they will own a design, they will own the journey, they will own the development, they'll own the onboarding, the marketing, the tech support, everything. And that's really what leads us to have the success we have today. We hire real pharmacists as our devs, And our real engineers are building things that their classmates, ex-bosses, ex-coworkers are building. So if Beta makes a mistake, someone might text her on a weekend, like literally. Someone will WhatsApp her and said, I was just using MedEssist on the weekend, and this thing crashed. Can you fix it? And she doesn't have a choice. She has to go fix it. Now, we all know that startups are not rainbows and sunshine. So the cons, and there are many, is that there's a steep learning curve at a startup. And if I'm being very honest, most healthcare workers are thought to be risk averse. Making mistakes is not part of their job. It's the opposite. You are taught to take care of that patient come rain, hail, or shine, and you are given a protocol to follow. You're not really taught to make your own decisions. You're taught to make the decision that the hospital has set for you, or the clinic has set for you, or the health system has set for you. So this can be challenging. Balancing clinical duties with tech roles? Not very metrics-driven, my friends. So that can be challenging. Learning how to work, learning how to write emails that sell, learning how to work virtually. But you know what? I would rather teach this than try to teach tech people about healthcare. And decision paralysis, that's par for the course. We're not, like, healthcare workers are not taught how to make decisions. They're taught how to follow an algorithm or a flowchart, and that's how you'll get paid for your job. So that can be challenging. Now, that said, MedEssist has intentionally built structure to merge these two worlds together. And forgive me again, Michael, but we've professionalized curiosity. So in hiring, we look for determined, smart healthcare professionals who will present their ideas to the entire company at our monthly town halls and talk about why what they're building is important and how it can change the trajectory of the company. When it comes to training, we've got a cross-functional culture where the expectations are set that, you're not talking to patients anymore, but the person that you're building for is talking to patients. So you better build something that makes sense to them, because they're going to have 500 people screaming at them in the next morning if you don't build correctly. Our culture is baked in because now we've got 75% of our team who are real healthcare workers who've rinsed and repeat and done this before. So our culture is literally mentorship. Whether you like it or not, you have to be okay with training the next person. And then finally, we've got mini CEOs. We're teaching healthcare workers how to be CEOs of their own mini features or products within the company. I know we just learned from Michael that we're not supposed to have lots of features. MedEssist has an insane number of features. I think we've got like 150. So please ignore that for him and take it from me. Sometimes having features is not a bad thing. We have 10 different product lines, and we serve millions of patients every day. So I don't have a choice. I need lots of features. So why does this work in healthcare? The truth is, healthcare workers are actually very distrustful of tech, because 99% of the time, the people building technology are not healthcare workers. Forgive me to all the consultants in the room, but we don't hire consultants. We look for people that have real lived experience, and then they come and build with us. So our clinician credibility leads us to faster adoption and deeper engagement than any of our competitors in the space. And it's my second last slide, don't worry. We launched a new tech-enabled model of care that has empowered clinicians to practice at the top of their license, no matter what country they're in, whether you're in Canada, the US, or Europe. A true 0 to 1 healthcare moment that's being recognized apparently by BetaKit. We won the most ambitious award this summer. But this would not be possible if we didn't have the breadth and depth of clinical experience on our team. We all heard about how important product market fit is and how important speed to product market fit is. We've hacked this by putting people with deep domain experience at the front of the line. So my final takeaway really is to build with your users, not just for them, which ironically is the same thing Michael just told us. So this is applicable to anyone, whether you're building for accountants or plumbers or chefs or HR people. The point is you're shaping the next generation of startups. For me, it's healthcare. For you, it might be something else. For us, going into our Series A, now that we've built this infrastructure, we're looking to actually hire tech people who've done this before, who've seen the movie before. And that's really about it. I hope that was helpful.
Hey, stay up there for questions. I'm actually going to take editorial control and ask the first question. It's Alex here. It's hard enough to find engineers. Mm-hmm. How do you find engineers that have both, the background you want plus engineering skills? Like every founder I speak to is always complaining about recruiting devs.
That's a really good question. I can promise you that I get about 10, which is not a lot, but a lot in a month. 10 developers who write to us every single day telling us that they want to work for us. And 90% of the time we're saying no because we're like, you haven't worked behind the counter. So, it's going to be so much harder for us to build a product, so much harder for us to iterate on what we're trying to get out the door. And the truth is, somehow we've managed to have 5 programmers who are pharmacists. And it seems to keep happening. I'm at this point now where US pharmacists are coming to us and telling us that they are programmers or pharmacists who've transitioned into programming. So I think we've built a brand around... Someone should ask Beta this question, please, because I don't know how to answer it. But I think we've built a brand around harnessing talent that is both a pharmacist and a developer. And there's a lot of imposter syndrome there because, they haven't graduated with a computer science degree. So there's a lot of like, oh, but should I build this? Can I put it out in the world? And we have to coach them through that. So it's not foolproof.
You, stand up. Rookie mistake. Do you, you mentioned a little bit about it in your answer previously, but can you talk a little bit about the team structure and then what happens post Series A? You hinted at the very end that maybe it doesn't scale the way you need it to, but because it's a really, really cool idea, but it just sounds super hard. It
is super hard. I don't think it doesn't scale really well. I think it's just learning to marry the right person at the right time. If you think about it from this angle, healthcare workers, whether they're physicians, nurses, pharmacists, they're extremely well paid. Coming to work at an early stage startup is, you don't have that just as yet. But once we hit the Series A and beyond, I don't think we'll have that problem. I think the problem we'll have is more about transitioning people into how to be action-oriented versus leaving the perfectionism behind. So I think the type of problem I will encounter will probably change. I could be wrong about that, but I hope that helps answer where you're going with that question. Gotcha. Yeah. It's a very small team. We're like 22 people.
Okay, we can continue that conversation at the after party. I think I've been told by the team we're out of time for questions. So can we get a big round of applause?